Hey guys, it's Shawn. Welcome back. We'll be talking about business law in 2025, what we see coming on the horizon here as we move into the new year. Our idea is to let you know what to keep an eye out for. I'm Shawn McBride. I'm a corporate lawyer. I do this channel to help you, business owner, business leader, be more familiar with what's going on in the business world. Let's jump into it. All right, changes are coming here, and a lot of this is coming from the policy side. We have a new president coming in. He should change a lot of things if his promises are correct. And that's going to mean downstream effects for us business owners, business leaders. Big thing is the Corporate Transparency Act. We did a separate video here on the channel, and there's a lot of questions around it. A lot of companies were having trouble with compliance. They weren't sure what to do. Simple companies, pretty easy to comply with the Corporate Transparency Act. But if you have a complexity, particularly if you have voting arrangements, trusts, other things involved in your company, it could suddenly become difficult to comply with that law. And we never got great guidance. Right now, the courts have it suspended. We're waiting to see what happens. I do expect we might have the possibility of some presidential action on that, which will change the whole situation. So if we get to January 20th, would not be surprised if the leadership of the Treasury Department on down doesn't change what happens with the Corporate Transparency Act. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Another thing is we've seen a rising tide of business formation. If you look at the statistics at the census, you can see the number of business formations has been really high the last 4 to 5 years post pandemic, post the start of the pandemic. Really high in 2023, a little bit lower in 24 than 23, but I expect the trend to continue into 25. That we'll still be having historically high business filings and business creation. So a lot of people are going to get transitioned on jobs. Some of the changes we're going to talk about here in a minute are going to lead to people wanting to start new enterprises, and that's going to create opportunities. So not only are there going to be opportunities to start new businesses, there's going to be new sales opportunities, new things that are going to be created from these changes. What kind of changes am I talking about? Well, with tariffs potentially coming back in the U.S. in a big way and shifting, there are going to be some business failures. We're already seeing some stress in the economy. So some of these businesses are going to continue to go under. That's going to create opportunities and holes. Some people are going to have difficulty trading with certain people. So we're going to have new businesses jump in to fill holes. So there'll be opportunities from that. Also, I expect a lot of M&A activity in the year, right? Some people are just not going to be able to deal with this. They're going to have trouble positioning. They're going to want to jump in or out. So it's going to be a fascinating year from that. Also, possible capital issues, right? We're already starting to see a tightening of the credit markets. I expect that to continue. So if you're leveraged in your business, or if you want to be leveraged in business, you want to buy a business to be leveraged, expect that may be more difficult as we move through the year. Banks are going to ask more questions, want to see more, want to know more. Also, the big thing I expect potentially is a litigation increase. People are going to be potentially litigating over things. You know, the lawyers often say when the economy goes down, the litigation goes up. And I personally am expecting some turmoil with the number of changes expected with the Trump administration, a lot of uncertainty. That's going to mean some businesses are going to slow down and pause and have some difficulties. And people, when they get in those situations, they often look for who to blame, point the fingers. They have the time to litigate. So the old lawyers thing is economy down, litigation up. I do expect that, and I expect whether we have a true recession or just some turmoil here, we may have a big year for litigation. So that's it, folks. As always, these are general tips and ideas, educational piece, not specific legal advice for you and your situation. You have questions or comments that are not confidential, go ahead and drop them below. Would love to read that. If you have topics for future videos, would like to see in the comments. And I'll see you for another video soon. Consider subscribing.